The movie begins with a dog barking insistently at the door, as if it were sensing something unusual. Then the door opens and we are introduced to Matey, a young locksmith who has been called by the owner to open the door. After finishing his task, Matey heads home, but on his way, encounters a massive protest. Just 3 days earlier, a police officer had shot an African-American activist, which ignited the community's fury. After several hours, Matey finally arrives at his apartment. At that moment, his phone rings. It's a woman requesting an urgent service for which she promises to pay extra. Upon arrival, he meets the woman. Her name is Clare. Before beginning his work, Matey asks her to show her identification. It's the only rule. Clare mentions that her purse, which contains her ID, is inside the apartment. To validate her identity, she describes a distinctive object in her home, a black boxing bag with a tear. This convinces Matey of her authenticity, and he begins working on the lock, hoping he doesn't regret breaking his only rule. Shortly after, the door opens and Matey asks again to see her identification. Clare nods, enters the apartment, and quickly returns with a plastic bag full of trash. She informs Matey that she needs to take out the garbage because it's leaking, and she will withdraw money from an ATM to pay him. She invites him to wait inside, indicating that she has left her ID on the table where he can see it. Moments later, Matey receives a distressing call from Clare. Her voice is filled with panic, and she insists that he leave the apartment immediately. Before Matey can react, a man enters the room, Semen, a Mafia thug, who launches himself at Matey and begins attacking him ferociously. In a desperate fight, Matey manages to grab a screwdriver and plunges it into Semen's throat. The thug quickly bleeds out onto the floor with some blood on him. Matey is left stunned, unable to comprehend what has just happened. His confusion is heightened when he realizes that his phone broke during the fight, preventing him from contacting Clare to clarify the situation. Clearly, Matey is ignoring the dead man. The most important thing now is that Matey's phone is broken. One thing is certain, Matey cannot risk being caught. Desperate to avoid jail, Matey decides to clean up the scene before disappearing. For that, Matey heads to a nearby store to buy chlorine and whatever else is used in these cases. Matey remains in a state of shock. He has never taken a life before, but somehow that has now happened, and he must deal with it. As the men enter, they are surprised to find their companion dead, and even more so when they verify that the money from their boss, which had been hidden inside the boxing bag, is missing. It is clear that Matey has fallen into a trap. The apartment wasn't Clare's. It belonged to Semen, one of the Mafia's men. They find a bottle of chlorine, which confirms that the person responsible is still nearby. So they begin to search everything. Fortunately, Matey is hiding under the bed, where no one would think to look. While inspecting the apartment, Matey sees his opportunity and runs towards his car. Unfortunately, his car won't start, and before he can escape, he is captured and taken to the Mafia's headquarters, where his boss, Janek, awaits him. During the interrogation, Janek demands that he reveal the whereabouts of his money and asks why he dared to steal it. In desperation, Matey insists that he knew nothing about the money and that he has been set up, insisting that Clare is the one responsible for the theft, and that he is merely a locksmith manipulated for the first time. Janek considers that Matey might be telling the truth. One of his men asks Matey to describe Clare and every detail he remembers about her. Finally, Janek orders Theo and another subordinate to take Matey to a brothel that Semen used to frequent, hoping that Matey might identify the woman who stole the money. Meanwhile, Janek presents a crucial piece of evidence, the screwdriver that Matey used to kill Semen, and warns him that if he tries to escape, both the Mafia and the police will find him. Theo takes out his phone, and Matey manages to see its unlock pattern. When they arrive at the brothel, Theo orders his partner to accompany Matey as he searches room by room, but he fails to find Clare. Suddenly, an unexpected event occurs. Matey catches a police officer with his pants down, and the officer begins asking questions and confronts Zio's partner. This sparks a fight, and while Matey tries to warn Theo, he listens on the phone and, to his surprise, hears Theo talking with Clare. They have been partners all along, and now Matey knows the truth. At that moment, a sudden loud noise interrupts the conversation. Theo's partner has thrown the officer out of the window, and now everything has become even more complicated. Furthermore, Theo quickly realizes that Matey has been listening to everything without hesitation, and orders his partner to bring the officer's body inside, instructing Matey not to move, no matter how hard it was to get the officer down. Now he must lift him back up. Theo tells his partner to wait in the car while he goes to get Matey so they can continue the search. However, in reality, Theo plans to eliminate Matey. He cannot allow him to report what he knows. Matey is not stupid. He doesn't plan to wait for Zio to kill him, so he flees. But a fight ensues between them that ends with both of them falling into the parking lot. Fortunately, Matey falls on top of Zio, which allows him to quickly catch his breath. Taking advantage of the opportunity, he grabs Theo's phone and runs toward the exit, but Theo recovers swiftly and chases after him. Matey manages to find a bicycle and pedals as fast as he can. Down below, Theo can only shoot wildly, but he doesn't manage to hit him. Clearly, learning to shoot was not part of his audition to join the Mafia. Later, Theo returns to his hideout with his companions, borrows a phone, and calls Janek, inventing a story in which he claims that Matey attacked him and tried to escape. Meanwhile, Matey has hidden in a safe place for the moment and tries to use Theo's phone to rat him out to Janek. However, he cannot find the contact at that moment. Clare sends a message to the phone asking why the meeting has not taken place. Matey replies, pretending to be Theo, and she tells him that she will see him at the club in 30 minutes without hesitation. Matey positions himself on a quiet street facing the club, waiting for Clare. When she finally appears, he follows her stealthily. Just when Matey is about to act, a group of protesters surround Matey, urging them to join their demonstration. When he turns back toward Clare, she has already entered the club. Determined, Matey approaches the entrance, but the security stops him immediately. The place is exclusive for members, and Matey does not have a card. Thinking quickly, he claims to be a plumber sent to fix a leaking toilet. His luck holds, and the guards let him pass. Once inside, he sees Clare at the bar and sends her a message asking her to meet him at the back warehouse. Moments later, she heads there, but just as she enters, a phone rings. It's a call from Theo from an unknown number. His voice is urgent, warning her that he has lost his phone and that she should trust no one. Clare immediately realizes that she has fallen into a trap, but before she can react, Matey suddenly appears, captures her, and ties her to a chair, demanding that she reveal where she has hidden the stolen money. Clare confesses that she does not have the money with her, and Matey becomes furious. This is all her fault, and if he does not recover the money, they will kill him. Clare apologizes, clarifying that she never intended to betray him. However, consumed by frustration and believing it to be yet another deception as before, Matey hits her hand with a hammer. The strong blow makes it clear to the girl that Matey is desperate, but in the end, he does not have the heart to continue the torture and apologizes to her as the tension subsides. Then, a deeper revelation emerges. Clare's real name is Julia, and she stole the money out of desperation in order to save her brother from Janek's clutches. Thus, Julia and Theo are siblings. All of this has been their way of securing an escape, knowing that Janek would never allow his right-hand man to get out of the business. Their plan is simple: take the money and simply escape to a distant place where Theo is no longer under the constant threat of being killed or imprisoned. At that moment, a sudden knock on the warehouse door causes panic among both of them. Matey gets caught up in a crazy mix of lies, danger, and surprising friendships. It starts when Theo looks in a locked room and is shocked to find Julie. Julie then opens the door, and there's Matey hiding in a closet. Julie couldn't stand the idea of dying, so she chose to help Matey. She told Theo she had escaped from Matey and pleaded with her boyfriend to take her away. After making an appointment to meet later, Theo sends Julie away. However, a sudden realization strikes Theo. Matey might be hiding and observing. He immediately returns to the bar to search again, startling Matey, who attempts to hide. Z's timely arrival to support the kitchen forces Matey to move, and this movement is spotted by Theo. Matey flees into a nearby square, where a parade is underway. He points to Theo, shouting that he's a police officer, leading the crowd to surround Theo, believing their companion is being assaulted. Trapped, Theo fires a shot, inadvertently escalating the situation. The shot enrages actual police officers, and the square erupts into a massive brawl between the two sides. Amidst the chaos, Matey is apprehended by the police, mistakenly identified as a troublemaker. He offers no resistance, recognizing an opportunity to escape. However, upon entering the police car, he finds Theo already there, also arrested during the riot. Unbeknownst to Matey, The police captain contacts the black boss after identifying Mady from photos. The police captain is a friend the boss had asked for help. Mady remains wary of Theo, unaware of the impending danger. Theo notices a change in route as their police car separates from the main force, causing him unease. Mady too looks back, just as masked gangsters emerge from a trailing car, guns drawn. The two police officers in the front are killed in the ensuing impact, and an unconscious Mady and Theo are abducted. After a night of struggle, Mady realizes he can't escape and, to survive, reveals the entire story to the black boss. The boss immediately calls Theo, who, having anticipated this, had already deleted all information about Julie. However, Mady insists there's evidence on his phone, revealing a hidden folder he had secretly set up. The video Mady secretly took in the cabinet is found, leading to Theo's capture. The black boss is indifferent to Theo's fate, his only concern the money. Theo is suffocated to death for his betrayal. In return for Mady's help in recovering his money, the underworld keeps its promise. Mady will be set free, but he must forget everything about that night. The murder weapon in Mady's hand serves as evidence to imprison him. Terrified by Theo's death and grateful to be alive, Mady dares not negotiate any further with the black boss. Mady is returned to his original location, but he finds no joy in his freedom, having betrayed Julie, who had protected him. Plagued by guilt and unable to trust the corrupt police, Mady is torn. As the appointed time approaches, he makes a fateful decision to warn Julie. He speeds towards the station, attracting the attention of a police car. He evades them, but his reckless driving draws even more police cars. Upon reaching the station, the police, believing Mady to be a dangerous felon, draw their guns. Julie arrives at the station with the money as planned, unaware that gangsters are also targeting her. A man in black leather follows her. When the police surround the car, they are surprised to find no driver, but his companions manage to see Mady running back to the station. Janek's men follow Julia, waiting for the right moment to attack her. Their plan is simple: silently eliminate her and recover the stolen money. However, just as one of Janek's men prepares to attack, Mady appears and shouts at her to run. His cry draws the attention of the police, who immediately fire shots that interrupt Janek's attack, forcing him to order his men to retreat. The startled crowd reacts quickly. Everyone takes out their phones and starts recording Mady on the ground, and Mady receives medical attention. In the end, he allows himself a single tear for his brother, who never showed up, a clear sign of what happened to him. At least now, Julia can start anew, even though she never thought she would have to do it without her brother, for it was him who most desired a fresh start.